Okay, guys. I feel like this is a month where you may have been holding on to a situation. Can be any situation. I want to say where money or material wealth is related. So it can be like you're holding on to a house, or you're holding on to a home. You're holding on to maybe some money that you got at some point. You're holding on to a job or a career. And I'm feeling like in this month, I want to say in the early parts of the month, there's some type of shakeup that happens for you. Either you lose your job, or you have to move, or there's some type of situation that you weren't expecting. And initially, this can bring some, I want to say some shock. I want to say some heartache. Okay, you may be worried about your finances or worried about your wealth. I really think this, and this is a general message too, so I want you to remember that this is for all the Tauruses watching the video, so it may not apply to you directly. I want to say this is a situation that you may have already known. It's kind of like leading up to this moment, okay? I don't feel like this is something where you don't know about it, because I see you kind of holding on to it as if you know there's a chance you might lose it. Okay, so I feel like coming into the month, you already know that you're kind of on shaky ground in this situation, whatever it is. One thing that's important here is if you look down the center row, we have the Magician, we have the Chariot, and the Ace of Wands. You are going to get out of this situation, and you're going to actually come out of it very victorious. I think for some of you Tauruses, there may be a creative endeavor or a creative, I just see your creativity being really strong this month, and you may decide to leave like a boring, stuffy desk job to pursue a creative endeavor. That may be one way this plays out. But it may be sudden. It may be like either you're up and quitting out of nowhere, or it appears to be out of nowhere to your employer, or you may be let go, but you bounce back within the same month, and you're going in a new direction. And by the end of the month here, we have recognition, we have reward for your efforts and for what you have done. So you are coming up as the Queen of Pentacles as well. I would say this is a month where you want to watch your finances, right? This is a month where you want to be smart with money. But when it comes to your creative endeavors, go for them. Okay, reach for the stars, I want to say. I also want to say that if you've done something in the past where maybe you've tried to get this endeavor off the ground and it hasn't worked for you in the past, this is a month where you may see a breakthrough, because we have the Chariot right in the center. And this is a warrior, but he's a victorious warrior. So he's someone who's been through battle, he's been through the war, but he's coming out of it and he's victorious for it. So positive news on the horizon, guys, when it comes to maybe a creative endeavor or a new job that may pay you well, you know. But I see in the beginning of the month, finances may be, you may be worried. You may be concerned about how things are going to play out. You are the Magician here at the top. The Magician is someone who, he manifests what he desires. So take action this month, physical action, to get what you want. You know, go out there and look for the right connections, look for the right people. That's helping you to manifest your dreams, your goals. Let's clarify this with these Gypsy Oracle cards of mine. I want to look at the Five of Cups first. See what this is about. Letting go, maybe, of a partnership. Okay, so for some of you, it may be that you're sad to let go of this partnership. Can be with an actual romantic partner, or it can be a work relationship where there was a lot of emotional connection there. Maybe you knew who your employer you had a good connection or a good relationship with your employer. But we see that here that something new is coming in, and perhaps someone's loyalty is questioned. Either your loyalty or your employer who you're presently with, or maybe who you just recently had an ending with. There was a lack of loyalty, or there was a question about loyalty. Let me look at the Chariot here. We're ending something. Okay. Guys, if this is, I don't know if some of you are doing something at work where you're having a romantic relationship at work. If that's the case, it's coming to an end this month, and it's for the better, okay? But if not, the Chariot here with these 3 cards is saying that we're reconnecting with something from our past that we haven't done in a while, that does bring us fulfillment, that does bring us joy with the Service card. I also want to say there may be somebody coming in that you had a previous connection with, okay? But you haven't seen this person in a while. They may be the one giving you that incentive or motivation to go and pursue your dreams, your goals, your creative endeavors. Or they may be someone that's introducing you to that world. Maybe they themselves are in that world already. But there's something here about marketing. There's something here about networking. There's something here about getting in touch with the right people. Let me look at the 3 of Pentacles here. Working and collaboration. So at first there was a negative change, right? Not negative. It can be you thought it was a negative change because you were leaving a bad situation, and you may have felt kind of fickle about it, okay, back and forth about it. But with this conversation, you're realizing that there's other opportunities and there's other things ahead where you are going to get rewards and recognition for, okay? So I want to say for some of you, this may not be necessarily like a job ending. It could be that there's some type of dispute at work and it comes to a boiling point at the beginning of the month. The rest of the month, you're reconciling. And I want to say be careful with your anger or be careful with your temper. You don't want to come across that way. You want to be someone who seems very professional and someone who's very adaptable and flexible, okay? I think that's going to get you more recognition than if, you act stubborn. So that's what I have for the general reading, guys. Let me move into the love portion reading. And let's see what's coming in for Taurus, for love, for singles and couples. I'm going to go love and singles for Taurus. Too many cards fell out here, so I'm going to put them back. Cards are flying out. Oh my goodness. Okay. Usually that's my indication that the cards are ready. Ace of Wands. I'm sorry, Ace of Swords. 6 of Cups. Page of Swords. The Tower again. King of Pentacles. The Wheel of Fortune. The Fool. Knight of Cups. And the 2 of Pentacles. At the bottom of the deck, overall energy is the King of Wands. Okay, so my Tauruses, you're in the center as the King of Pentacles here, whether you're male or female. And you may be dealing with a fire sign. That may be a Leo, Sagittarius, Aries. That can be their sun, moon, or rising sign. But this can also, instead of being a fire sign, it can just be someone that is very passionate about you, about your relationship, about, being with you. I feel like we're dealing with somebody from the past. We're getting communication from someone in the past that you may have had a bittersweet ending with, okay? I feel like this person is coming back. They're wanting a second chance. This communication may come in via social media, via some type of written communication. It can be through a telephone call as well, but I'm kind of feeling more of like a written verbal, like a written communication coming in. I think when this relationship ended for you in the past, it was something that was catastrophic for you at the time. It was something that was very abrupt and it was very heartbreaking for you. But you've grown out of it, and I think at this point you realize the positives of that relationship ending. And you went on and, you went on your merry way. Maybe you got involved in another relationship. You may be involved with someone else at this point, or you're looking to get involved with somebody else. And this person comes back, and this person's like, wanting to reconnect. And for you, it's like, the Two of Pentacles here. You got a big weighty decision to make. You can see the waves in the background are just kind of like up and down, like hills, right? And when the waves are expressed that way in the card, it's symbolizing that our emotions are very high and low. We're riding that emotional roller coaster. Now, for those of you who are coupled, I want to say that this is like reconnecting in a romantic way, remembering who we were back then, and wanting to reestablish that connection and that energy in our relationship. I think that maybe for those of you who are in a relationship, there may have been some truth that has come out. And it may have been bittersweet truth. It may have been something that you needed to know, but maybe you didn't want to know. Or maybe it was something that was difficult for you to hear, but you needed to hear so that you two could work on your relationship. And you've worked on that, or you're working on that in the beginning of the month. And what happens is it gives you two an opportunity to really reconnect and get back to the basics of your relationship and what brought you two together, okay? I also just want to say, for some of you, you may be getting communication from your child that they need help financially, and you and your partner may need to help in some way. That's coming up here as well. If you have children who are maybe, I want to say, high school, teenage age, or maybe in college as well, just starting out as a young adult. And this could also be, I want to say, it's going to sound maybe silly, but for some of you, it may be that you have to pay so much for sports, or your child to join a sports team, and there's a big expense with that. You may be struggling with that this month to pay for it. Someone may come in though to help, maybe an uncle, a cousin, a relative of some kind. Okay, I want to look at the Wheel of Fortune here. Somebody, for those of you who are single, yeah, there's somebody here, somebody maybe who's very controlling, I want to say. We have, can't get these cards all, we have the Enemy here, and then we have the Side. I feel like this ex-partner was someone who may have been very controlling or aggressive or domineering of some kind. They like to be in control. You said goodbye to this partnership. It may have been very challenging for you to be with this person. And now they may be returning. For those of you who are married or coupled, this is about, I want to say there's a turn in the relationship, because you see here we have the Enemy and we have the Lord card. I kind of feel like there's somebody who, either both of you or one of you, is not willing to hear the other person. It's like, my truth is the only truth, it's the right way, and that's it. And if that's the way you're going to be, you know, you're headed down a road where the relationship's not going to last. However, being that these cards are on the Wheel of Fortune, I think that's changing. Someone's willing to be, you know, more flexible and more agreeable. Let's look at the Two of Pentacles here. Okay, for someone who may have someone returning, those are those who are single, you know there's some secret here, there's some deception here. I wouldn't trust this person who's trying to return. I think they're saying, oh, I was happiest with you, you know, our relationship was such a good relationship and I was so happy, blah, blah, blah. I don't think you feel that way. I don't think you perceive it that way, but this person's coming across as that's the way they perceive it. And but you know better. I would say don't trust this person. If they're already giving you this emotional high and low, it's not going to get any better. Okay? For those of you who are coupled with this Two of Pentacles, they may have some secret doubts or fears that you cannot open up and be as vulnerable and enjoy the relationship as much as you want to because you don't know if you can completely trust your partner. That's something you have to build over time. Now, for those of you who are in a committed relationship, I feel like this is genuine. I feel like this person is genuine in wanting to work out your differences. But you have to build that trust on your own. It's something that takes time. Lastly, I just want to look at the King of Wands here. Okay. For single Tauruses, this person's remembering the bond you had. And maybe they've been looking you up. They're trying to figure out how to connect with you. For those of you who are together in a relationship, there's some work to be done, some maybe studying on how to reconnect your relationship on a romantic level and stop living in this melancholy space. Okay? And that may be for this King of Wands. That may be their effort. That may be the work they do. That could be your partner, you know, wanting to reconnect romantically with their spouse.
July 11th, and the moon is still in the deep, dark depths of our emotions in Scorpio. And today they'll be harmonizing, the moon will be harmonizing with Saturn and Pluto, which are, this is our stuff that has been coming up, our deep, dark stuff. So we're in our deep, dark depths of our emotions, going through all of our stuff. Hooray! But today there is release, there is freedom, that tension that has been building, it is going to pop today. Whether we want that or not, the popping is happening. So let's be popcorn today and wake up. Wake up our physical bodies, wake up our physical energy, and shift, make a change. Make this, use this electricity, this, it's like an arrow pointing in the sky right now, pointing with Mars and Mercury in Leo, electrified by Uranus, making this arrow in the sky. So where are you pointing this arrow of heart? It's from your heart, from our hearts. We are shooting arrows from our hearts right now. So let's make sure that they are from the heart, because there is this electricity, this popping off happening today. So be kind to yourself and others. Our emotions are extra deep today. This is the last, and then tomorrow it's Sag Moon and deep breaths and vision and freedom. But today we go through the rest of this intense emotional stuff. And if you are facing that baggage or that stuff or your blocks or limitations, there's a purpose of that today. And in the emotional depths, we can really transform. So let's surrender to this transformation and let the pops come, let the shifting electricity come and upgrade our physical bodies. Thank you, Uranus. We wake up today. Our physical energy wakes up as we go deep in our emotions and let go and slice out these structures that are no longer serving us.